Warehouse jobs do not care about your soul, they do not care about your feelings, they do not care about your life. They only care about what you can give them. And today I'm here to prove that. So over the past 2 weeks, I've gone through a lot of BS at my warehouse job and I'm just kind of sick of it. So I'm a forklift operator and I'm pretty essential to the actual warehouse production and things of that nature. And there's other people like me. So on my shift, there's supposed to be at least like 6 or 7 of us. And I hate that I said that, but we've had people getting fired lately, and those jobs have not been replaced. And not only that, but the people that we use our forklifts for are builders. They build pallets, and they are getting faster and faster by the literal day. And there's a lot to say about that too. Yeah, you would think that being faster is actually a good thing, but it's really not in this case. So it kind of goes to corporate greed at the end of the day. Our big boss up top, as they don't want forklift operators to work much overtime at all because they make a couple more dollars an hour than the rest of the people, and they don't want us to take from their bonuses. And I know that as a fact that they do have bonuses that they get for the amount of overtime that is not worked on the production side, and that's my side, warehouse and stuff of that nature. And it's just a big mess. There's actually like a spider web of problems that go into this right now, and it's kind of hard to dissect. But for the nerds out there, I'll try right here and right now to do that. So first, we have the builders. They are the people who put the product on the pallet and wrap it up and load it on the truck. They do good work. They do the hardest job. There are forklift operators such as myself who bring the product from the top row to the bottom on the floor so that these builders can use that product and build on their pallets. And I'm supposed to just replenish the pallets that these builders deplenish by using it to build their own pallet. It's pretty simple, right? There are certifiers who are supposed to make sure that the trucks are getting loaded correctly, to certify that these trucks have everything that's actually supposed to be in there physically, and so that these truckers, the CDL truck drivers, can leave with the load and go bring it to store and get it going, and they're not part of the warehouse at that point. There are leads that also do the same thing as certifiers to a degree, but they just get paid less. And there are checkers who kind of do the same thing as the certifiers, but they get paid less than certifiers as well. So it's kind of a weird thing. But there is this thing, right? There's a company side and there is a union side. So the union side includes the leads, it includes the builders, it includes the forklift operators. And the company side includes the certifiers, it includes the checkers, and it includes the supervisors and the trainers and whoever else is in between all that. But that's actually pretty much it. There's two more sides to the unit. There are the truck drivers and there are fleet, which are people who repair equipment like the trucks themselves. And that's how it goes. Now the company has a balance sheet of how much money they're willing to spend on workers doing worker stuff when it comes down to overtime or just money paid out to us, period, right? So the funny thing is, we, the builders, have been getting so much faster over the past year. Now I'll say it like this: builders used to do about 80 cases per hour. Let's just say that 80 cases in 1 hour. That's what they used to do, right? Now these builders do around 100 cases per hour and more than that. And they get work done faster, they get more work done, and they make the company more money, right? That's a good thing, right? Now, the funny thing is, these builders build so fast so that they can go home at a timely manner. They usually do 10 to 12 hour days on a regular basis. But there have been 8 hour days, but very few and far between. The funny thing is, whenever these builders actually make like a new stride and do like 100 cases per hour and get done with the workload, so let's just say that altogether they finish 10,000 in one night. That's like a new record, right? And okay, that's great, go home early. But tomorrow, the sales team, is something I forgot to say. We have a sales team that sells product. Now the sales teams, they're going to sell more, so they're like, okay, you guys got done with 10,000 tonight, let's see if you can do 15,000 tomorrow. And they will actually sell 15,000 product, and that will be the new standard. And for the past year, the new standard has been going up higher and higher and higher, and that's obviously not good for the people who are building so that they can go home on time, because why else are they building so fast? Because they went above and beyond, 80 was the requirement, 80 cases per hour. Now it's 90, and I have heard rumors that it's going to be 120. Now, 120 is the industry standard for North America, for my business, for my company that I work for. And that is going to be dangerous because no one's pulling 120 on the average. There might be one or two people. A lot of people are going to get fired. And the thing is, we are a union. We have already done our union bid for the next 4 years of our job. We have 3 years left. We got a $2 raise, and we are going to get like 75 cents on 1 year, which already came up last month, 2 months ago actually. And then we're going to get like a 50-cent raise for the next 2 years, like about $1 in the next 2 years. And then at the very end of the 4th year is $1. So we're going to get like $2 more total for the next 3 years. But the thing is, like I said, 80 cases per hour is what was going on when we were not having that raise of $2. But guess what happened? We got a $2 raise, and it's like the productivity has skyrocketed. And the funny thing is, like I said about, I don't know if I mentioned, but bonuses, right? The top 2 supervisors in the warehouse where I work, they get great giant bonuses based on the amounts of overtime that is not worked by our side, my side. And on top of that, how much, the sales team sells when it comes to product. But they have been trying to get the forklifts to not work overtime, even though they are quite literally needed. And not only that, but they have been firing forklifts now for good reason. Like, there was one forklift who got fired because they would put unwrapped product on a second story shelf. Unwrapped product is unsafe because it could fall on someone's head and literally end their life. So that's not something that you want to do. And he was warned to stop doing it. And then he did it again and he was fired. Like, that's just dumb, right? Like, you deserve to be fired with all due respect. I can't even say I feel bad for you, because what if someone died? You know what I mean? That's not something that we're going to sit here and brush past. But they didn't put his job back up for bid. They never replaced him. They were like, let's see if we can get the same amount of work done without this guy. Let's see if every other forklift operator is willing to work harder. And the sad part is, they weren't. Now, I worked harder. One of my coworker friends worked harder, and one other coworker worked harder. But ultimately, there's 2 people who just don't work very much at all. There's 3 people actually, forklift drivers, and they make the rest of us look bad. And they make the rest of us work harder. So that's where one of my gripes comes in. So that's how that goes. And the sad part about that is, I didn't notice at the time, but me and these 2 other forklifts working harder to make sure this work gets done is actually detrimental to us in our job security, because now we're working ourselves out of help. We're not getting help, and the balance sheet says we don't need help. The statistics say we don't need help, so they're not going to give us help. They're just going to expect us to continuously work harder. And at first it wasn't a big deal, because that guy who got fired, he was kind of annoying, because he would literally just be parked in the way, and we're trying to do work, and this dude's quite literally just in the way. Like, his name is in the way at this point. So I'm not sad that he's gone. I'm happy actually, because he was genuinely an issue for everyone. He was such a bad worker that he was actually an issue for people who tried to work. That is crazy. And the funny thing is, he only got fired because he messed up that bad. But remember that kindling flame is now a raging fire when it comes down to these builders getting progressively faster. Now, they are so fast. Now it is an issue that their speed is so high that it is actually hard to get the product on the floor fast enough for them to actually have the product at all times. They are trying so hard to finish, and they don't understand that every time they try harder, that more cases, more product is being sold, and their threshold for how much work they have to do just increases. They're getting nothing for their labor. Nothing. They're literally working themselves out of a job too, and they don't know it. And now these bad forklift drivers, these 3 bad ones, are making the rest of us look bad. So now this is the thing. I don't feel comfortable telling these people that they need to slow down and do worse work, because I don't trust them to not rat me out because they don't like me because of the other forklifts that are so bad that it makes me look bad because I'm a part of them. And my job isn't even their job specifically. I don't actually have to replan. I have a different job to where I use a fork, and at times I don't want to do their job simply because they don't feel like it. And people will come to me and ask me if I can do their job for them, and I will say no. There are times when I say no, and every time I say no, I'm liked a little bit less. And that is another issue. It's like seeing someone's hair catch on fire and the other person doesn't know their hair's on fire, but you don't want to tell them because you're scared that they're gonna, instead of putting their own fire out, they're gonna light your hair on fire too, because of misery loves company. So that's how I feel when it comes to not feeling comfortable telling these people that they are actually working themselves out of a job. Now, where's my proof? So I have a job to where I basically build pallets, but in a very unique area, in a very unique way. It's different, but I use a fork to do it because it's like completely contained in my own corner of the warehouse, and I don't rely on anyone else for help. I rely on myself. So that's why I use a forklift, because I load trucks, I load my own trucks, and I build my own pallets and load my own trucks. Now, I'm pretty busy doing that because I'll have drivers come to me and unload their trucks in my area. Then I gotta reprocess those pallets that they give me and organize them and then load them on a different truck. That's my job. Stopping my job to do other forklift replan jobs takes away from me in the sense of it makes me much more busy because the truckers who will come to my area will not stop showing up just because I'm helping someone else. And they will not organize their pallets correctly in any way, shape, or form. They would just leave me with the messiest crap ever, and it actually stresses me out in a way. So now I have to think about, am I going to be stressed out because I'm helping too much, or am I going to just let them be stressed out because they're not getting my help because the other forklift operators don't want to work hard? Now, that's a question I had to ask myself many times, and I came to an actually pretty sweet conclusion. So what I decided is I'm actually going to help these people because if I have work to do after my scheduled shift, that's just overtime. That's fine with me, and I'll still help these people, and I'll continue to help these people. That's fine with me. So I did that. I was helping because I'm helping myself ultimately. I'm getting overtime. I'm helping people. These guys over there are being lazy, so whatever. I don't care about them. They're helping me get overtime. Great stuff. Well, all good things must come to an end because last week my supervisor told me I can't do overtime in my area anymore. I have to build regular pallets with everyone else if I want to do overtime because that's priority. And at the end of the day, the balance sheet does not account for me doing overtime that has nothing to do with building regular pallets. But they still asking me to do forklift replan in the meantime and stop doing my job entirely. Now this is where the union comes in. I don't have to do that. I did it one day regardless though, and I just seen how it felt. I was like, let's just see how it feels. And ultimately I'm just getting screwed over. I don't like the feeling. So I told my supervisor, I'm not doing that again. And I didn't until yesterday. And I told them, I was like, hey, I want something out of this because the stress that I'm going through, I need to get paid accordingly and not just regular time. All I wanted was my overtime, but you can't give me that. So I would like a gift card, you know? And they said, oh, I'll see what I can do, but not certain about it. So I did replan the whole day. It was much more stressful than my normal job. And if I don't get that gift card, then I'm not doing it again. And this is me just giving some background on like all the different problems because I meant to actually make more than one video about this topic, but I've just been so busy with the actual work itself that I haven't even been able to make videos talking about anything. So my overtime's gone down because the warehouse does not care. The supervisor wants to get their bonuses, and the thing that really strikes me on nerves is the fact that their bonus comes from taking my money. And that's where I start feeling like this is personal because it's like they're literally siphoning my money into their wallet, but in a legal way. And I do not rock with that in any kind of way. Why would I ever? I want overtime, and I am getting overtime because I am staying to build pallets. Like, I'm not prideful to the point to where I'm like, oh, I'm too good for this. No, it's just the fact that they're eliminating overtime in one way, because if I help build regular pallets as well, the amount of time I can stay is still going to be lower because I'm helping getting the case count done for the day. And the thing is, there's so many different spider webs of things, because the person who does my job after I leave my job for the day, my regular job, that person is on the company side, and there's a strict rule that says company side employees are not to do union employee work, for that takes away from the time that we are to be paid for our labor. So the company side, are breaking rules in the union contract. And not only that, I pay for the union contract. Now, I'm not sure if it's $50 a check or $50 a week or a month. I need to figure that out. And it's actually $55 now, whatever it is. So it doesn't matter though. I'm literally paying for this and I'm not getting what I'm paying for. That's like buying Netflix, like the family plan with the 4K and 8 screens or whatever, and not turning on Netflix ever, right? So that's an issue. And that leads into another issue. So the overtime, I'm still getting it. I'm going for it, right? But this is the silly part. I'm a forklift operator, and there's a lead that gets to be favored, and that person is doing forklift jobs, forklift replan after the day's over. And like after our regular work day's over. So they're doing overtime on the position that I should be doing. And the reason that I should be doing it is because they are seniority based as well. I have more seniority than that person. Why is that happening? And okay, so let me back up. When it comes down to overtime, whoever has more seniority and has qualifications for the job that they want to get overtime in gets to do that job for overtime. So the first time I had an issue was this week. And I already said, they said I couldn't do overtime in my position. I said, whatever, I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to pick. I'm going to build. And I try to build. And they said, oh, we don't have enough equipment, so you're just going to have to go home. And I'm like, hey, I have seniority. One of these people are going to have to go home. I don't want to do that, but that's what I'm choosing to do because I need my overtime. And I've been here and I've earned this seniority. So what are you talking about, right? And they were like, oh, it's a different job title. It doesn't work like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to leave and I'll come back. I went to go read the union contract and I was right. I could kick someone off. I go show that to the supervisor. He says, we don't have any equipment. And I don't know about that because it could be interpreted in a different way. And it really can't. It really literally can't. It genuinely says that I just said it. The overtime, even mandatory overtime, will be done by the person in the job who has seniority and qualification. Seniority comes first, qualification comes second, but it is also necessary. I can't build. Everyone in the warehouse can build. If you can't build, you literally shouldn't even be working in the warehouse. I don't know how you got that job. So that's already qualification. That's the first qualification that you get when you get hired. Now, he refused to get someone off the headset in order to get me in the headset. So I went home for the day. So I just didn't want to argue it. I told you guys about how I got fired once upon a time, and I'm still in that last chance agreement. So I just have to deal with it for now. And I'm about to get off of the last chance here soon, like literally like sometime this month in April. So that's the good part. But I don't want to, celebrate too early because I'm literally still able to get fired for being 2 seconds late to work. And that's just how that is. So I bide my time and I'm still biding it right now. But I'm talking about it right now and I'm complaining a little bit. So that was the first time. The second time is, like I said, the lead who came and did overtime on the forklift replan, even though I am a forklift replan and I also have more seniority than that person. And that does make no sense whatsoever. I go up to the supervisor and I say, hey, I need to do forklift replan because this person is on the forklift and they should not be on the forklift because they do not have seniority for that position like I do. And I literally am a forklift operator. They said, oh, I'm just going to need you to build because it's a different job qualification, different job title. And, leads are just, it's just different. And I'm like, no, it's not. It is literally seniority. And seniority is that's first and foremost. Second of all, everyone in this warehouse is under the job title warehouse. Like, anyone who's not on the company side, the checkers, the certifiers, the leads, not the leads, the checkers, the certifiers, the trainers, and the supervisors are on company side. The leads, the forklift operators, the builders, and fleet, which is the people who fix stuff, are on, and CDL people are on on union side. And fleet and union are fleet and CDL truck drivers are excluded from our warehouse activity. Like when it comes to building, I don't even know if they're excluded, to be honest. I don't think they are. I think they just have it really well. They always work 12 hours anyway. They don't need to take our position. I think they're not actually excluded. They just are naturally excluded because they have literally 12 to 14-hour days every single day. But regardless, if I want overtime and a lead is here and they have less seniority than me, and I have more seniority than every lead, I've been here 3 years and they haven't, then I get to do the forklift opportunity, the forklift replan. They don't get to just decide anything. And you as a supervisor do not get to decide anything like that, because it's literally seniority based. If you want it to be on company side, then go talk to your people at the company and make it that way. But do not come here and tell me that if it's just different, it's just different. It's not just different. It's literally not. I have the proof. And he said, oh, send it to my phone and I'll go talk to the people upstairs. We've had this conversation many times with other people and it's always the same answer. And I'm like, apparently the conversation keeps needing to be had because it is not just different. You guys are in the wrong. It says it right here, But they just said, oh, we'll figure it out first thing tomorrow. But right now, I just need you to build, okay? And I'm just like, okay, I'll just leave. Because once again, I'm still on my last chance agreement. And I'm not going to freak that up because I'm mad. I already lost my temper the last time when I was sent home because the seniority thing didn't apply again. I actually was cursing up a storm and I was kind of out of my mind. I was so mad because the thing is, dude, I only work for money. I don't work because I love work. Now, there are people out there who have that, opportunity, and it's a great thing, I'm sure, but I'm not one of them right now, and I don't need people to do me dirty and mess up my finances. Good thing though, guys, I finally paid my debt. I'm done. I paid my debt off. It feels good too. It really does. But I just did that. And rent is today. And I don't need people to, sabotage that for me. Like rent, I already got rent paid, it's good. I'm literally good. I'm doing great actually. But I'm trying to build a savings now. I'm not trying to have people chip away at my check because they don't understand what the rules are. And this is the second time that they have done this in 1 week. I will not, cannot, shall not allow this to continue any longer. Not without a fight, but I'm not going to do the official fight because the official fight would be filing a grievance and sending it up to HR. HR quite literally works for the company. They're not for us, but they do have to abide by the rules if the rules are true. But there are things that come with doing things of that nature. So what I'm saying is if I were to file a grievance, yes, I would get the 2 to 3 hours that I was taken away from me. But the thing is, they're going to literally be meticulous about me and my time. So if I'm a minute late to work, I might actually be fired. That's why I say I'm not doing anything crazy until I get that last chance agreement off my back, until I'm free of that burden. But yeah, guys, man, there's been a lot going on, man. There's been a lot going on. This is the last thing I think, man. We had a third shift forklift operating crew, and these people are so terrible at their job. Like, willingly, these people would come in and literally go to their car, smoke, chill, talk, or just go to the bathroom, hide in the bathroom for 30 minutes to an hour, do literally anything but work. Literally. And the reason why they did it was because third shift is supposed to be a bodiless job. It's supposed to be forklift replan without the builders. It's supposed to be all the builders are done at 10:30 p.m. and the forklift for third shift comes in at 10, and they'll just replan everything, make everything look nice and neat and clean and everything. And they would go be chilling pretty much because no one's in their way as they're trying to replenish. But that's not reality. Second shift always stays over 12 hours, like I said. So 10:30 is our stop time for second shift, but really 2:30 is the stop time because that's how long it takes us to leave and go home. And then on top of that, first shift ends up coming in early, not 6 a.m., more like 2 a.m. So there's always bodies in the warehouse. Third shift didn't like that because that's not what they were told the job would be like. So instead of biting the bullet and just doing work, they would literally go hide and do nothing. Or just hide and literally go to the corner of the warehouse. Hear everybody call for fork because they needed help, but just completely ignore them and just talk and yap and do nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've seen it many times. And the reason I know about the bathroom stuff, because the bathroom has a bench. I seen this guy just sitting down on the bench, just chilling, like, haha, this is my protest. And one of the people literally told me that that was their version of protesting, is that they're not dropping any pallets for replanting for builders, because that's not the job that they were told that they needed to do. And it's just stupid, to be honest, because yes, I understand that there is an expectation that you're supposed to have it easier than everybody else and get paid more, but you knew you've been here longer than me. All of them have been here longer than me. You know that's not how this job works. We always have overtime. We always stay 12 hours. Almost every single day we stay 12 hours a day. Why are you acting like this is not a normal occurrence? And even if it is, you are still getting more money and you are still a forklift replan, and they rely on you. And I'm certain that in the job description for you, it's going to have a clause that says drop pallets if needed for a builder. So this whole idea that you could just chill and do nothing, I understand where it comes from, but that's not the reality. And that has something to do with what I want to say next. So the two big bosses of the warehouse usually are only here from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is actually a lot of time, way too much if you ask me. But yesterday they showed up at like 10 p.m. and they were here at 6 p.m. And I was wondering, like, what the heck? Why are these people here? I say my hellos and stuff and just chill and, do my job. And I'm like, you guys are here late. And they just didn't say much. He was like, how's it going, man? And I just say, good. And then I go to the bathroom and come back. And as I pass by the, the head manager of the warehouse, I hear him say, tell such and such to come to Debbie's office immediately. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that has to do with me, but it doesn't sound nice. And long story short, I don't see a single forklift operator for third shift. And that's because they all got fired. Every single one of them got fired. 4 of them in total. Now, there are 2 who are injured, who are not there because they are injured. They've been gone for weeks now. Unfortunately, one of them got in a car crash and they're hurt. I don't know how bad, I have no idea, but she's still not here. And the other one, he tore a ligament in his leg. And I don't think it was that bad. I think I'm overdoing it, but he's still hurt. And he's been gone for 2 weeks now as well. And usually that would help me get overtime because, a fork's not here, so they need another fork. But once again, it's been other people getting on the fork, company side jobs who are getting on the fork. They're not supposed to be on the fork. Leads getting on the fork and have less seniority than me, and I have to go build. And it's just been a chain reaction of I'm getting screwed over and I'm getting pissed about it. But I'm still getting my overtime, so I'm just going to stop complaining so much until I am off of my last chance agreement. But guys, that has been most of everything I needed to say about the situation. I wanted to put it in more a nice, concise video, but I couldn't do that for you today because I just had so much to say that I started yapping, hence the channel name. But yeah, guys, it's been crazy, man. And the thing is, that's not it. So this is all because the supervisors of the highest order in the warehouse, they want their bonuses to be as big as possible. And these builders are working themselves out of a job, literally. some of these people will be fired because they are setting a precedent that is not attainable on a daily basis. And I'm not gonna lie, it's also my fault, and I might have started all of it. And the reason I say that is because and this is the thing, right? There used to be incentives, right? Like, hey, pick a thousand cases, or it used to be pick 800 cases, get $100 extra, period. And that's nice because 800 is attainable. And now it's pick 1,000 cases, get $75. How do you have to work 25% more and get 25% less? That's crazy. That's a 50% difference total. So, but it's still an incentive, and those incentives happened often, like a lot, because we used to do, like, let's just say, for example, I said 10,000, right? And we started doing 15, right? We used to do like 8,000 cases a night, bro. And that was not a lot. So incentives passed around a lot. And you would think, oh man, this guy's just trying to be lazy. This guy's just trying to make sure everyone's lazy so he can get free money. Well, there's nothing free about this money, my friend. Summer comes around, it's 110 degrees and we're still working. With all due respect, things are going to get slower. And that's how it's going to be, and that's how it's going to stay. We're going to run out of water because no one cares to refill the water and put it in the fridge because supervisors are too busy hiding out in the actual company side so that they can have good AC and not drown and die like us. Yeah, it's a big deal. Like I'm not about to hear that, with all due respect. But anyways, it's really more about the middle ground. You got to remember, we all have a purpose in life, and it's not to work our butts off to perish for a company, man. It's, and my personal, and it's really for the glory of God, man. And I stuttered to say that because, I'm kind of scared to like let people know that God is my God, like Jesus is my Lord and Savior. But and the reason is because I kind of feel fake at times, but I've been feeling a lot better about it recently. And God said, deny me in front of your friends and I'll deny you in front of my Father. That's what Jesus said. And that's a pretty easy thing to not do. Don't deny Jesus. He is king, for real. But our life is not just about working. And the reason I even said all that was to say we're not supposed to work our butt off so hard that we are tired when we get home and we are too tired to do the things that matter in our life. We can listen to the Bible anytime. There's apps for that. Through the work, we can listen and read the Bible whenever. But I'm talking about like hobbies. You want to just hang out with your friends after work or before work? Well, you're going to need to have some energy, bro. Even if you take supplements. I've been working hard. A 12-hour day is hard, period, bro. In general. So in a 12-hour day, working that hard and also having low morale because the workload only tends to go higher and higher the more work you do. So it's like you're set up. It's an inflation economy. The money's not worth the same amount as it used to be. You're working harder, more tired, and you don't even want to do anything on your day off other than recuperate. That's not fair. So yes, I am saying slow down a little bit. I am saying chill out a little bit. Because you guys have been working so fast and so hard that there are no such thing as incentives anymore. Because you guys worked yourself out of an incentive. You are working the forklifts harder because now we have to work harder to keep up with you in general, which is impossible. It's really that hard. I am one of the best forklifts in the building, if not the best. And the only reason is because I will continue to work and I don't take breaks. That is it. I won't take a break until my work is caught up. But with these people, it's quite literally impossible to catch up. So eventually I just give up and I'm like, all right, I'm gone, bro. That's why I need a gift card, because it's not easy. It's too hard to keep up with these people. It is impossible. And these people don't understand that they're working themselves out of their job. And I tell them that every now and again. But it's just just in passing conversation, no one really cares about what I'm saying. And if I were to make it like a serious thing, like I'm saying, hey, stop what you're doing. Listen to me. Open your ears. You're working too hard. You need to slow your roll. Stay within the range of 90 cases per hour so that you can not get in trouble, but also so when push comes to shove, you can get an incentive instead of just being expected to finish the work without anything extra. You go home tired, don't know why, and you don't have any extra money in your pocket. You guys, they just don't understand because these people haven't been here as long as me. And that's another thing. Supervisors, they don't really want people who have been here as well for a good while, because those people will remember how good it used to be and how much better the job was, how much easier it was, and how much more money there was to make. We got a $2 raise, but guess what? All of our incentives disappeared from that. The work that we do 70% more work with just a $2 raise. Let's say we all got $20 an hour before the $2 raise. A $2 raise is 10%. Why would we do 70% more work for a 10% raise? I'm good, brother. I don't want that raise. I'm good. But this is our reality. So with that being said, there's a lot going on. It's a spider web of different things, and I just explained it all. So the main thing is the supervisors want the biggest bonus ever because it's quite literally corporate greed. So they're willing to push us to the limit and have us work much harder. And they have built up a team that only works harder, and they only know how to work harder. They don't understand the thought process of intelligent work. Intelligent system works. Fire Emblem. They always knew what to do. But these builders don't understand the value of actually pacing themselves. They just worry about being the fastest in a leaderboard, like it's a video game. And it's fun to think of it like that, but you need to know that when you're tired at the end of the day, you only have yourself to blame. Don't come to me complaining. I don't want to hear it. And the forklift, and not just that, but just the seniority being toyed with in general. That's a big issue for me. Obviously, I've already complained many times about it. I don't want someone who has less seniority than me being able to get more overtime than me when I literally ask for the overtime. And it happened in two different ways. And there is a company side person literally doing my job at the end of my shift. What is happening? That is against the union policy. I pay for this stuff. Like, should I just drop the union fees? Should I just drop the union? Why am I paying for it? Seriously. It's a genuine question. It doesn't make sense. Why am I paying for something that does not serve me? Netflix, I ain't watching a movie though. So there's many different problems, and it's a big spider web, but guys, I appreciate you guys listening to me yap about my job. If there's anything that this has taught me, is that I thank God, seriously, that I am out of debt finally, and that I can start saving money and be serious about that. Hopefully I get this car soon, because that'll change a lot in my life for the better. I actually have an idea. I'm hoping that I can make juice, smoothies, get a cooler, and just go out in random places where it's hot and sell them, and just make like an extra $50 a day. That'd be pretty nice. That'd be real cool. And I want some Meta glasses too, but it takes work. It takes time to get the money for all of those things, man. It's not easy. And that's why I'm so upset when they try to mess with my overtime and act like I don't care. Like, dude, I am furious about this. I am furious. They don't understand. I'm furious. The summer's coming up, and I keep on saying I want to do great in the summer. I want something to do in the summer. I want to have fun, bro. I'm not trying to go and travel the world. I thought about it, but no, I don't want that. I just want to have a summer that's worth something in the long run. I don't get summer vacations. I'm not a kid anymore. But I would like to have my summers full of times where I could remember outside of work. Seriously. And that matters to me. And I think a car and a Meta glasses can help me get there by the way of social media and getting a little bit of money outside of work, so I don't have to work 12-hour days every single day. But while I'm willing to do it, here I am. I'm showing up, and I'm still here. So with that being said, guys, I thank you so much for watching. I thank you so much for being here. I will see y'all next time in the next video. Peace out. You scratching monkey.